Is it possible for you to qualify for tens of thousands of dollars, if not more than $100,000 in unsecured credit, no matter what your personal credit rating is right now? Well, the answer is yes. In fact, I have a handful of highly coveted, very rare, secret resources that I have that I'm going to share with you at the very end of this video. And no, I'm not putting it in the description box, so you're not going to be able to skip down to the bottom. And there's a specific reason for that. You need to know how to use this money. So let's get to crack-a-lackin' on this, because I have a lot to share with you. Okay, so first and foremost, one of the things that I wanted to share with you, and by the way, welcome back, because it's been a while since I've been gone, and now I'm back in action here. But I wanted to kind of welcome you into something that I want to introduce to you probably for the first time, unless you're an old school Monica Main student. You've probably heard of this before, but many of you are not. And so you're probably not aware of what I call my 4 success quadrants. And so one of the things I wanted to share with you really quick before I get to the nitty gritty of the highly coveted, very rare financial resources I want to share with you is exactly how these 4 success quadrants work. So then that way you can actually utilize this unsecured credit to ultimately build legacy wealth for yourself, okay? So first and foremost, one of the things I want to share with you is kind of what the grave conditions of the economy are right now. In fact, many of you may be working 2, maybe 3 jobs, and you're noticing that things aren't as cheap as they used to be 4 years ago. I'm not going to get into a political thing because it's not the government's responsibility or obligation to lower prices. Listen, I'm a business owner. I get to charge whatever I want to charge, and nobody's got a gun to any of these corporate greedy bastards out there that are raising the prices on groceries. They're raising the prices on groceries as per their own accord, and they're doing it on their own, and government is not going to help you. So if you're thinking and holding out and praying that the next administration is going to help you out with that, guess again. You are on your own, okay? No politician is going to ride in on his or her white horse and rescue you. And if you're thinking that that's ever going to be a possibility, then you are in for a dismal and sad life, okay? So it's up to you if you're going to pull yourself up from your bootstraps and out of your situation right now, whatever it might be. And I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to share with you kind of a very specified blueprint to get you from A to Z as quickly as possible, so then that way you can cut out decades of trial and error, and many people just simply don't figure it out. They just basically die poor or broke because they're just not able to climb out of their hole that they're in. And maybe you're one of these people that just wants to grab the bull by the horn and just make some decisions that are going to change your life. And so I'm going to share with you exactly how you could start that roadmap today, right now, with the 4 success quadrants. So quadrant number 1 has to do with your personal credit situation. So for those of you that have dug yourself in a deep hole of debt, you are in great company, because there's millions and millions of people out there who are in deep debt alongside of you. So here's the deal. Never before in history have we had a higher rate of personal debt. In fact, it's much, much higher than it ever was in 2008 before the crash. And so I predict that there's a crash on the horizon. I don't think it's going to be the same kind of foreclosure crash, although there's going to be some foreclosure windfall opportunities. But I believe the vast majority of it has to do with the unsecured debt, including student loans, including credit cards, including signature loans, including car loans. That's going to be the bubble that's going to burst. And so I think kind of the unintended consequences that certain people will lose their houses, but I don't think it's going to be a 2008 collapse in that same regard as it will be probably in the next coming within the next 18 months. It's going to happen. There's going to be some major shifts and changes. So what you can do, instead of crying and complaining and hoping and praying that some politician is going to help you, which we all know they're not, what you can do is you can decide, you can make a decision today to change your entire financial future. And I'm here to share with you exactly how, and that is with the first quadrant, which is fixing and rebuilding your personal credit. Now, I've talked a lot about this on this channel. In fact, I can give you a free book. It's a 100% free download at freecreditbook.com. It's right below in the description box, right below me right now. And what you can do is fix and rebuild your personal credit, because you want your mid-FICO to be over 720 and ideally over 750. And I actually had a comment on one of my videos, because I do a lot of credit videos. Somebody was saying, oh, it's impossible to get a 750. Really? It's impossible. I have an 850 FICO, and I had a personal bankruptcy. I had a personal repossession. I had 2 judgments on my credit report, and these were judgments that were well over $1 million. And I was able to get an 850 FICO. So if you're telling me it's impossible, it's just because you're lazy, and that's it. You're a lazy ass. So stop being a lazy ass, making all these excuses about what is and is not possible, and start getting your crap together and starting the process of rebuilding your personal credit, because you can do it. You can do it for free, and you can do it relatively quickly. In fact, you can, in many scenarios, boost your personal mid-FICO by 100 to 200 points within the next 90 days or so, if you follow suit with what I have in the book. So again, it's all free, freecreditbook.com. It's down below, and you can start the process of rebuilding your personal credit. And then that leads me into Success Quadrant number 2, which is unsecured business credit. So the cool thing about it is once you can get your FICO at least over 720, ideally over 750, then you can start getting unsecured business credit. Now you're going to need an S corporation or an LLC in your home state with an EIN. An EIN stands for Employer Identification Number. This is essentially the social security number of your company, and you're going to need this to be able to get business credit cards and business loans. And so once you get your personal mid-FICO up, you can then use your company EIN alongside of your own social security number to start applying for unsecured credit with banks and lenders that lend out money to businesses. Now, mind you, one of the things that a lot of people don't understand about why we had the Depression back in the 1930s was because there wasn't available credit to businesses and corporations. And so that's what was different about the post-crash of 2008, is that the banks and lenders, unlike what they did back in the Great Depression, during the Great Recession after 2008 crash, the banks and lenders that handled corporate or business credit continued to still lend to corporations and businesses, even though they were pulling back on lending money to individuals. So case in point, even with my 800 mid-FICO score, if I went into a bank to get a signature loan, I might be lucky to get, I don't know, $15,000 to $20,000. But with my business, even a brand spanking new business, utilizing also coupled with my personal FICO score, I can likely walk into a bank and get an unsecured line of credit for anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000, even with a brand new business, depending on the bank. Not all banks will do that. It just depends on the bank. More than likely, I have always much more luck with unsecured business credit cards than I do with unsecured blocks or business lines of credit. And so I can easily get over $250,000 with at least 5 or 6 different business credit cards within about 30 days. So you can do the same as well. But again, you got to get that personal mid-FICO score up. And listen, time's ticking anyway. A year from now, you're still going to be a year older. You might as well have a really good FICO score a year from now, right? Because you can utilize that good FICO score to then funnel that into unsecured business credit that you can ultimately use to build wealth. Which then leads me into Success Quadrant number 3, which is aggressive income business. So let's be honest, your job or business right now is probably not making enough money. And if it is, it's probably barely, and you're probably hanging on for dear life at this point. And if that's the case, it's only about to get worse, okay? So if you're barely hanging on now, you don't have a really good future if you don't plan on doing something about it. So the good news is you can start a very profitable side hustle cash flow business, and you can do it part-time from home without a ton of skill set. And that's what you want to do in the aggressive income category. And so that's my Success Quadrant number 3, which is find an aggressive income business that's profitable. Now, I recommend that you stay away from network marketing or pyramid schemes or MLM, which is multi-level marketing, because, you know, if you're going to sell somebody's product, you might as well sell your own product, right? So there's a variety of different businesses that you can participate in. You can definitely sell products and services online. If you have any kind of skill set, you can go ahead and sell those skill sets online. You can take out Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads. I would strongly urge you to start studying other people's money-making funnels online by simply clicking on Facebook ads and just signing up for everybody's stuff with a junk email address, and then starting to see what people are selling and, you know, sign up for calls, like phone calls, and get sales calls, and find out what people are selling and how much they're selling it for, and seeing if you align with any of those skill sets that you can offer maybe a comparable product or service. And then you could start your own business along those same lines, utilizing their already tested and proven marketing strategy that probably took them several years to build out. That's how I would do it if I was starting over from scratch, is I would emulate somebody else's highly proven, already tested and proven successful sales system, and I would use my own skill set, and I would sell my own products and services that way through whatever marketing funnel I could set up. I might use ClickFunnels, I might use Go High Level, and then if I had no skill sets as far as setting up those websites, I would go to Fiverr.com and I would hire somebody for cheap, someplace in India or Bangladesh or wherever, and I would have them set up my online funnel for me, so then that way I don't have to worry about the 6 to 12 month crash course I would need to go through, equivalent to a college semester, to try to figure this crap out. I would hire somebody to do it cheap, just to have that speed of introducing my product and service into the market. So that's what I would do if I was starting over from scratch. Now, if you're one of these people that's like, I don't know if I want to start an online business, I tried that before, it didn't work, or whatever the case may be, or I don't have time, you might want to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I have a phone sales rep opportunity that's coming up very shortly, and I'm going to be doing some videos here on YouTube about that, whereas you can actually jump on board and become a highly profitable commissionable sales rep for our company if you want a really good cash flowing side hustle, because maybe you don't want to own your own business, and maybe you just don't want the hassle of having to deal with online funnels or figuring out marketing or whatever. And if that's the case, then consider becoming a commissionable sales rep, to where you're getting high paid commissions for closing each sale. And of course, the deal flow comes to you. And as long as you prove yourself as being capable and someone who can close deals, then this is definitely something you might consider, because good paying sales reps can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions per year. And that could be you. So I'll be announcing that shortly. So again, you want to subscribe just to make sure that you don't miss that video series. So that is aggressive income. And then that brings me to success quadrant number 4, which is passive income. And so all the income that you make from your aggressive income efforts, whether it's an extra 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 or more per month, you should be funneling that money into passive income. Now, as kind of a disclaimer, there really is no such thing as passive income unless you're throwing some money in, long-term stock like Disney or Delta or 3M, for example, or Tesla, where you're just throwing money into a stock and you just won't do anything with it for 10, 20 years. That's the only true passive income endeavor that I'm aware of. And even then, I wouldn't recommend that you just willy-nilly whip your money into some kind of account and just start buying whatever random stocks. You do have to have some kind of crash course, at least, on what to buy and why you're buying it, because I don't trust money managers or brokerages to tell you where to put your money, because if they truly knew what the hell they were doing, they would not be working at a brokerage house, getting up at 4 in the morning to trade the markets for their clients. They would be on a beach in the Bahamas, enjoying their millions of dollars a year that they're making from their, investment efforts. So just in the mere fact that they are charging, commissions for in and out of each trade just simply means that they don't know enough about what they're trading. Otherwise, they wouldn't be working for a brokerage house. And a lot of people don't understand that or make that connection. So if you're going to be trading the markets, definitely learn as much as you possibly can from actual trading experts, and then go into maybe some long-term passive income, stocks, for example. Otherwise, if you're not interested in stocks, then there's other passive income that's not really truly passive. So for example, if you got involved in real estate investing with tenants, like you say, for example, you bought a 20-unit apartment building, that's not truly passive either, because somebody's got to manage that building. Now, mind you, you might be like, well, Monica, I'll pay 10 to 12% of my gross operating income per year to have a management service come in. Well, that's all fine and well, but a lot of times these management services don't do a good job. And so you might have a 75% occupancy, you're not making money. And I have to tell you that with traditional rentals right now in today's day and age, with as much money as each apartment building or multifamily property costs, even single family homes, what it costs right now, you're not going to make any money. You're not going to make any money by buying a house and trying to rent it out to, Joe Blow and Sally Housewife every single month. You'll be lucky to make a couple $100s a month. And then what happens if you need electrical work? What happens if you need a new roof? What happens if you need a new, HVAC system, or whatever the case may be? Then you're in the red. you know, because that $200 a month isn't going to cover that, you know, massively large bill that you just got from the contractor. You're going to have to pay probably years and years to pay that off. And same with apartment buildings. It's like you'd be making maybe $100, $200 per apartment unit. It's just not worth it with traditional rentals these days. Now, there's something that I do now called local Section 8. It's not federal Section 8, it's local Section 8, which is completely different. And I do have a training down below in the description box if you're interested. It is basically a type of real estate investing that offers you 10 times more in income than any other traditional rentals. So that's a possibility as well. In fact, I'm really excited because I have a teenage daughter and she's been talking to me about, you know, what she wants to do. She's starting to think about what she wants to do for her life. And it surprised me a lot when she told me she wants to get involved in passive income real estate investing, probably because she's been hearing me talk about it all these years. And I always thought that she wanted to be an artist or a teacher or one of these many other things, which she does have the option of doing because I did make enough money to be able to allow her to do the things she really wants to do. But she really now is suddenly gung-ho about real estate investing. And so I've been talking to her about what kind of real estate investing to get involved in. And I told her traditional real estate rentals is not where it's at right now. You can't make any money with those. But you can make money with local Section 8. Which again allows you 10 times more in income than a traditional rental. Now there's other types of commercial assets that you can go after. Like for example, you could do like a self-storage unit, but that's even more labor intensive than a apartment building, because at least in an apartment building you can have a management service go in, even though they might not do a good job. Many times they don't, but you could at least have somebody else go in. With a self-storage unit, you have to have an office, you have to have somebody behind the counter selling, you know, the rentals for each one of those units. You have to have somebody do cleanup, maintenance on the property. You also have to do somebody selling boxes and tape and bubble wrap in the front office. So it's more of a business than it is a passive income piece of real estate. So there really is no such thing as passive per se, unless again you're throwing money into a CD or some kind of long-term stock. There really is no passive income vehicle, but you do have to figure out what the management part of it is before you get involved in it. So ideally what you're going to do is take the income that you make from your aggressive income enterprise, and then you're going to throw it into passive income real estate until you make enough money every single month that you're able to then retire. And that's the idea, is that if you can start to make, say, $20,000, $30,000 a month from your passive income, the stuff in category number 4, then and only then can you retire, because you have enough money to sustain yourself. And also what's really cool is that every 15 to 18 years your rents will double, especially on a multifamily property. So that's like a built-in income forever. Like it keeps increasing as inflation increases, right? So it's pretty cool how it works. So you want to get to that, you know, 30,000 plus per month threshold as quickly as possible with your passive income, not your aggressive income business, but with your passive income business. That's where it needs to be before you can fully retire out. So that's what's really cool about this whole stuff. So now, without further ado, you're probably wondering, okay, well, what are all these financial resources you're talking about? I mean, you just told me that, you know, you're going to give me the lowdown on exactly how to use these financial resources to get wealthy. So now that I've done all of that and you have an idea and you kind of have a roadmap, what you then want to do is go to this website here, and you can actually access my most highly coveted, highly regarded, rare bunch of financial resources that you could use to get involved in business, whether you want to buy a business, start a business, whether you even want to get into passive income real estate. You will literally have all of those resources there at this particular link. And by the way, I'm not going to put it in the description box. It's right here down below me, and you can actually access those resources. And I would definitely bookmark that website, because I'm not going to be talking about that website ever again after this video. So if you found this to be valuable to you, please give me a nice thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel, because I have a lot more coming up. This is Monica Main signing off, and I will see you in the next video.